Come to business with me, Abigail Adumakoenchi. To start with, Managing Director of EcoBank Ghana, Samuel Ashiteje, has asked businesses to cope with the forex measures by the central bank, as they have no choice till the bank revises the measures. Although the move has not affected their profitability yet, according to him, he says the Bank of Ghana needs to critically monitor and assess the effectiveness of the measures and review them if there is the need to.
Ghana in February this year introduced new measures to regulate the forex market as a way of stemming the depreciation of the cedi and stabilizing the economy generally. 3 months after the introduction of the measures, the jury is still out there on how effective they have been. Even critics point to the continuous depreciation as evidence the measures have failed. Others believe the situation could have been a lot worse. Banks such as EcoBank, however, seems unaffected by the new measures.
It hasn't affected our business. We just published our first quarter financial results, and it's surprising. We are still growing, in profitability, in assets, and in the patronage of our services, and in everything. What we believe is happening right now is, if you are not used to something and it is introduced, all of a sudden, it will take you some time to get used to it. So with time, clients will get used to the new system, because they don't have any choice unless the central bank decides to amend the directives. They don't have any choice, but business must go on. So we are still working with them. We are advising them on what to do, and so we'll cope with the situation together with our clients.
Samuel Ashiteje is one of those who believe the measures have made some impact.
The rate of depreciation has slowed down. Now I'm talking about the rates of depreciation. It's slowed down. Secondly, some of these directives take time. You don't issue our directives today and expect results tomorrow. So it takes time. I think it's too short to assess the impact of the directives on the depreciation of the currency.
Do you think there's a need for a revision?
Oh, I can't say that. The central bank will have to look at the impacts of the new directives on the economy in general, before they can come out with an assessment of the impact of the new directive.
Well, stockbrokers are still worried about the downward trend of the performance of the Ghanaian bourse. Speaking on Joy News' Business Live program, Charles Amakwata of Cal Brokers attributed the bad performance of the market to the depreciating cedi, which he says is making the money markets more attractive than the stock market.
Market, according to brokers, experienced the composite index of about 5%, while the financial index hovered around 6% last week. Stockbroker Charles Amwakwata says the 20% depreciation of the cedi is affecting the capital markets negatively.
Basically, there are a number of factors, but one of them that I will have to mention has to do with the impact of the foreigners, which has to do with the performance of the cedi against the major currencies. If you look at our market and the foreign participation, is about 50 to 60% of the foreigners are participating in our market. So any foreigner who invests in your market, there are a number of risk factors that they look at, and one of them has to do with the currency risk and the political risk. And if you look at our economy at the moment, one of the risk factors has to do with the currency risk. So if a foreigner is coming to invest in your local market, he's bringing dollars or pounds and then euros, and at the end of the day, the currency is depreciating. So far, we have a depreciation of about 20%. So you can imagine 20% is so significant that every foreigner will be frightened to get out of the market. So that is one of the major factors that we are seeing on the market so far.
He said investors would invest in financial equities as a defensive sector, since the manufacturing and retail sectors are declining.
We're expecting that looking at the measure that they really put in place, it was really going to really reduce significantly, or really going to stop the depreciation of the cedi. But I think so far it hasn't really worked to our expectation, you understand. So I think there's still a challenge as far as the performance of the currency is concerned. But that notwithstanding, there are also other risk factors. If you look at the local environment, you realize that there are also other asset classes that are competing with the stock market. We have the money market. If you look at the treasury bill right now, it's about 24%. We began the year less than 20%. and now it has moved up to about 24%. And exactly, very, very attractive. So the performance of the treasury bill or the money market is inversely related to the performance of the stock market. So anytime you realize that the money market is going up or interest rates are going up, you see there is what we call a flight of capital from the stock market to the money market. So that is also a big challenge.
He advised government to formulate policies to drive the economy positively at the upcoming National Economic Forum.